Good evening, my friends. Let me welcome you again to this evening of this thing of ours, where we kind of recap what happened during the day, kind of look at things that are unique in a particular way, a way that I think you should be looking at things, because that's a very critical thing. Let me also like you to tell you at first, by the way, you must like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, hit the buzzer, the bell, the buzzer, whatever the hell it's called. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. And by the way, who's new tonight? Anybody new? Any brand new stragglers? Anybody who says, I'm going to give this a shot? What are we going to do? Got plenty of crumb cake. Come on to the front. Come on to the front of the line. Introduce yourself. Who's new here? Let's do a review. Let's kind of do a geography. Where's everybody from right now? We got Mary Fernandez here. Mary, quite contrary. We got JB. We got Howie. Howdy do? I waited and watched movies all day. Good for you. That's probably the best thing you can possibly do. I was watching Old Shindig. Watching The Yardbirds and Amboy Dukes with Ted Nugent. Great stuff. Who's brand new? Where is everybody from? And by the way, please don't give me the, Ohio. Give me a name of a city. No addresses, but I want to know what city. See, we got Massachusetts, the UK, Fingazinia. Fingazinia is good. I used to always use the name Dick Gazinia is always a big one. Interesting phraseology. Paonia, Colorado. Carroll Valley, other valley Sunday morning. Sausalito Summer Nights. Remember that one? Vanessa from Naugatuck. Thank you. Love your show too. Ghana. How about that one? Well, la-di-da. Jamestown, NC, Las Vegas. Just the usual suspects. Saw Sound of Freedom again today. Cape Coral. Ford Frey, by the way. UK city of York. Know York well. Hillside, New Jersey. I used to be YMDMB. You couldn't figure a way to say it. I don't know how you pronounce it. So now it's Mary Fernandez. I went to school with more Fernandezes, Garcias, Fernandez, Gonzalez, Hernandez, Fernandez, Alvarez, Rodriguez. Loads of them. Loads. Henderson, Nevada, Delray Beach. I have been following you for the last 5 years. This is Celia Martinez de Huert. Celia Martinez. Thank you so much. It is, and I am honored, Celia, like Celia Cruz, one of my favorites. Boy, what a mug on that, huh? When she and Tito Puente used to do that, oh God, that is. I like to see Celia Cruz and Coco Taylor in a scream off. Look at this. Hello, I'm Brandy from Atlanta, Georgia. Is that sweet or what? Hi, I'm Brandy. Hey, y'all. How you doing? I'm from Atlanta. And I enjoy macrame and making... we used to take... Sometimes I take old Lavoris bottles and put colored water in it. I knew one time there was a guy whose mother took like Lavoris, not Lavoris, but Scope, had bottles with colored water as decorations. Have you ever seen that before? That blew my mind. It's like, what is this? It's deodorant. What do you call it? Not lozenge. I'm losing my mind today. Anyway, I think I've been here since I first saw you, Alex Jones, unless that's a false memory, of which I have many. Sometimes I have these false memories too. You know that? Oh, look at this. Carrickfergus, Northern Ireland in your face. Cynthia Wilson in your face. In your place. Hello, Father, how are you? That's the way Americans do. That's that Barry Fitzgerald. Ooh, hello, Father, how about a potato? Nobody talks like that. My favorite is my old friend Michael, who's no longer with us. This one there, the one there, to make this on the Trump. I always want to have the news. And now let's go to the news from Galway with tonight's our friend Michael, whatever. This one today, the man Jack Smith there, they come there. Put that Trump to the 3 counts of your fuck's sake with your what the Jesus, the one there. See, the man says here one there is some type of thing where he says January 6th, and he says, hey, they stole my vote. Yeah, for fuck's sake, what's negative one there? They took the one there, Biden. If this one come there, if this fuck's sake come there, stole the one to the duff of the Mickey. I don't fuck's sake. Your man. Ray Rockwood says, Lionel, I'm in Texas. What's your opinion on stacking gold and silver or even cryptocurrency instead of these soon-to-be worthless dollars? You know what? I think that's a good idea. Can crypto be stacked? That's a good point. Christian Lay, I don't give any financial advice. Lionel, I missed the Gypsy Kings opening. Oh, yes, that was, yes. That was a song called, I heard that one time, and he's not saying Lionel, but it sounded much like it. I saw the Galway one. How about Galway Girl? In any event, what's the point of tonight's show? The point of tonight's show is this one there, folks. Take the one there. Anyway, the point is to tell you how to look at something, not just give you the facts. What are you making out? What do you make out with Trump's indictment, so to speak? What are you supposed to do with this? What are you supposed to do? Tell me what you're supposed to think of that. Okay, he got a letter, right? He got this letter, this target letter. What does it mean? Should I be happy? Should I be sad? Is this serious? What is it? What do I do? Will somebody tell me? No, they don't. They read the same thing. They get the boring lawyer to come on. Well, a target letter is normally sent to those people where it is very likely, if not altogether certain, that an indictment will follow. Don't. Who talks like that? For the love of God. It's so boring. Though I'm telling you, I watched just a little bit of CNN with whatever. It wasn't bad, but it doesn't really nail it. It doesn't really tell you what it is. What does this really mean? How do I tell you what's happening without giving you a biased view? You know I've always told you the truth. And sometimes you've been very angry with me. You've told me this. You said, you're not, I came here to get my spirits lifted. What? I'm telling you the truth. Well, I don't know if I want to hear the truth. I just want to hear stuff that makes me feel good. Well, I'm not going to make you necessarily feel good. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I've always done that. I've always done this. Do you understand what's happening? By the way, I will tell you one thing. And I will tell you this much. My friend about the, how do I say this? About gold and stacking. May I say something to you? The only person I'd call is Noble Gold Investments. Seriously. My man Colin. They are the best people. They are the best. Call them. Use this link. That's what I would do. Great people. Fascinating. Noble Gold Investments. That's what I would do. That's as close to any kind of investment advice I would give. Now, here's the thing. Bottom line is simply this. What's going to happen? It's hard to say at this point. I don't think anything's been really good so far. Any good news? In that I see some things that are happening. Bobby Kennedy is still the best news to me. And by the way, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not everything is just like, everything's going to be great just because he's there. I am telling you the truth. You've got to understand something. I'm like you in a way. I don't want to be so presumptuous. I want to know the truth. I have never been part of a political party where I go to these jamborees and, hey, isn't this great? Oh, is that Judge Janine? Oh my God. What is this? Stars don't bother me. This is about my country. This is about my country. This is, it's like having a relative of yours in the hospital, and you're afraid your sister or brother or parent are going to die, and you say, is that Dr. Oz? We're in a hospital. What are you talking about? I don't follow these people. I don't know what it is. I'm just a rational person who always believed. I started off coming out of college with just like, leave people alone. I didn't understand the real nuances between Democrats and Republicans. I really got a great education when I came out of college, and I worked for a U.S. senator. I had no idea what government isn't really that bad. I used to do a lot of stuff for constituents. I did so much to help people out. It was great. I really liked it. It was very simple to do. You had to use just any kind of caring where you could get things done. That's really what I thought was great. And that was okay. And then later on, nothing really hit me. Law school was a very important part. Being a prosecutor was interesting because I got to see the law and order part and the kind of the dirty side of life. But I also got a very, very, very interesting education in terms of how law can be excessive. I never thought I'd be saying now that law is not excessive, where they want to have no cash bail. I never thought I'd be saying we need to crank this baby up. I always thought we were teetering near a police state. Not anymore. Not anymore. I never thought that would ever. I never thought I would see this. What's this about? Again, I'm like you, rational person. I never had any feelings one way or another about gay people, black people, anybody. I never cared. I wasn't that open-minded. I didn't care. It wasn't something that I cared about. It's like if you showed any kind of a problem or a feeling against somebody who's left-handed. I don't care about that. Talk radio was great too. That was in 1980. 88 was when I really started. But even before, I was calling and having fun just as a caller. Those were interesting times. And it was so simple then. Rush Limbaugh changed everything with the liberals. And he made liberals sound quaint. They cared about condoms and homeless. And it was really nothing. Liberals want to tax you. The liberals. And it was mindless. And I kept thinking, who are these liberals? I don't understand it. What are they? Oh, we're the conservatives. Well, what do the conservatives do? Well, they're not liberals. Well, tell me, Rush. By the way, Rush was a great guy. I knew him and worked with him, and I really, I couldn't believe how shy he was. Good guy. Absolutely. Cannot say one thing. Not swell-headed. This guy was so big, so huge, so enormous. It was a time. I missed that time when talk radio was so powerful. Radio was so important, so critical. You could really get things done. And now, it's so-and-so. It's not really. You know what I mean? There were people who made things different. Jerry Williams changed. I think he was out of Boston. This is when they had the congressional pay raise. He sent tea bags. Say the Tea Party. All of a sudden, they were swarmed with tea bags. People, oh my God, this guy. And then once I think it was Jerry Williams, once he did it, then everybody wanted to do something. I think Toby Keith wanted to say, send your old boots to Peter Jennings. Remember that one? He got all these old shoes. One of the funniest things that ever happened, speaking of responses, one of the funniest things I saw this. I know for a fact this happened. When Ronald Reagan had his they called it a proctoscope colonoscopy. Remember that? He had polyps removed or something. Nobody really knew anything about them. Nobody knew anything about this. Nobody knew colon this and proctoscopes and colonoscopies and sigmoidoscopies, and it was brand new. So, and by the way, get your colonoscopy. Mine's coming up, and I can't wait. I'll let you know all about that. Big time. Because let me tell you something. You could talk all you want about AI. You could talk about AGI. You could talk about mapping the genome. You could talk about whatever you want. But the fact is somebody took a camera with a tube and a lens and basically rotor-rootered us to get an up-close and personal picture of your colon and polyps and snip them away is the greatest thing anybody's ever asked for. It's science like you cannot believe. Whoa! Look at that! Nobody knew about preps. They don't do preps the way they used to. Nah, take the pills now. It's no big deal. But people love to complain about that. Oh my God, the prep is the worst part. What are you talking about? It's nothing. What are you, babies? Oh, don't take the prep. People have had babies. Women have had children. What are you talking about? Come on. It can be fun. It can be fun. You can lock yourself in. Can't go out doing the prep. I understand. Hey, can you drive me to the store? No. I'm going to wear a scuba outfit. What do you think about that? Not a good idea. How about a spacesuit? Not good. You need Velcro. In any event, so Ronald Reagan, this is a true story. Ronald Reagan had this colonoscopy. So what happened was, our local Channel 8, local NBC affiliate, they said, by the way, colonoscopy, we'll talk to Dr. Harmon Killebrew. And Dr. Killebrew, what do you think about, well, the colonoscopy, and you could save lives? Really? And at that time, they said, Eckerd drugstores, or whatever it was, is working in conjunction with Channel 8, where you can look for occult blood in your stool. Now, occult means hidden. It sounds almost like something my good friend Styx, Hexenhammer, would be involved in. No, Styx, it's not occult blood in your stool. No, that was the name of my high school band, by the way. No, it was looking for blood that's digested. That's why upon inspection, they would talk about black, tarry. I loved the descriptions because that's digested. And that means it's way up you. Not stuff at the end, which most probably is some type of hemorrhoidal boom. You got it? So it's that black, tarry stuff. Plus you can't see it. And most people don't sit there with a flashlight and say, what does that look like to you? Loch Ness Monster? I don't know what that is. Looks like Newark after a rain. So anyway, make a long story short, this woman, she says, now we're working with Channel 8, and here's what you can do. Go to any, I think it was Eckerd's, I don't know, Jack Eckerd's. Eckerd's was our big store, big drug store. Go to Eckerd's, and Eckerd's will have this card. And this card where you take your, basically your sample, and you'll do a little bit of a schmear, so to speak, not the Carnegie Deli type, but something else. And then it'll give you this place where you can send this to determine if you've got a occult blood. Okay? Sounds good, right? Well, as you can know, in the Tampa Bay area, there's a lot of old folks who don't really, they're hearing it, and they don't really understand exactly what you're talking about. All they heard about was, send away to Channel 8, and we'll send you one of these cards that you can use to apply your sample and then send it to whatever lab you're directed to. But we'll send you the card, okay? We'll send you the card. I found out, I'll just say this, that Channel 8 was downtown, right off of Jackson. And anyway, somebody told me that these old people were getting confused. I'm trying to make this clean. I know people are eating and maybe already ate. Some of the old people got rather confused. So what they did was, they would send a sample of their own particular sample to Channel 8. And it was somebody in the mail room, I guess when they cancel these things or whatever, he said, what the hell? What is this? People walking wearing, hazmats, going into the mailroom. What is this? Well, it turns out the old people didn't understand exactly, and they were sending samples. So I wish we had VCR. We didn't have anything at that time. But if I recall correctly, maybe it's false memory on my part, I remember at the time looking back and hearing this woman, the evening anchor, say something like this: "Now look, don't send anything to us. In fact, don't send anything. Go to Eckerd's. Get the card there. Tell what you do. Don't mail anything, especially some stroons in a manila envelope or in a bag. This is hazardous. Don't do this." One of the funniest moments. Can you imagine the mailroom? I quit. They always talk about, well, I worked at the mailroom at William Morris, and I started off at the mailroom at Channel 8. Not good. One of the great days, one of the great and wonderful days of TV. By the way, on this subject, before I change it, my mother told me this story. We used to laugh like hell at this. This killed me. During one of the food drops or something to other countries, I don't know what it was. They were, they're dropping food. They drop things like can of beans. You open it up, beans. Got it. Some of the labels were in English. They didn't know. Some of the stuff may have had, some of the labels came off, but they were sending raw pumpkin to people. People were wondering, what the hell is this? You open it up, it doesn't look good. Reminding me of the first subject. And I kept thinking about all these people in Africa, whatever, saying, what the hell is this? You're supposed to cook it. Cook it. We don't have any stoves. What do you... Anyway, cracked me up like you can't believe. Truly cracked me up. So, as I was saying, I was just kind of ambling around. 1980, I was working for a senator. I kind of liked that. 83, I graduated from law school. Worked for the prosecutor then. And then in 93, came to WABC, did some stuff. Politics just really wasn't. I never thought the end of the world was happening. I thought, okay, maybe. Yeah, we got to work on the crime thing. Yeah, we got to work on this. Yeah, abortion is important. It's a life. But there was no sense of urgency. I always thought that both sides were rational. Some were more than others. Every party had its own individual lunatic, but for the most part, people were. Didn't you feel that same way? You felt like people were just, on the same side, Americans. Not anymore. I've never seen anything like this. Let me say this again. Even during Bill Clinton, I never felt it. I never felt this way about Obama. Maybe some serious stuff with right around George Bush, 9/11. Neocons and but still it was a war, and it wasn't really I just never felt like, nothing like now. Trump came along, I thought, Trump doing an interesting job. Things were okay. I kind of like him. Never thought he'd win, rather. Then, in 2015, he announced for running, and we saw what was happening. But then, what really hit us was Biden. There is nothing. And I can imagine myself, I hope one day I'm in a rocking chair, and young kids are saying, tell us about this. And I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. There was nothing like the Joe Biden administration. There was nothing like this. We didn't know what the hell was going on. We were being invaded at every conceivable level there is. Do you understand that? We were hit at levels of insanity and war. And they brought in a man who was, we thought he was nuts beforehand. Remember when he was talking about Corn Pop? Corn Pop's a bad dude. Remember these black kids were going, who the hell is this? Corn Pop had pomade in his hair. Went down to the pool. Took that razor blade out and had it in a can full of sand. A couple of times along the side of the pool, like a razor. Told him, hey man, bad scene, mama swung pretty good. Dude better go back for a fin and don't come back unless your daddy's. And these kids are going, what the hell is going on here? He's running for president. Who's running for president? Him. Him? Who is he? It's Joe Biden. What the hell is he talking about? I don't know. Black people with the hair, with the pomade. Aren't you listening? No. That was a real problem in Scranton. Black people were swimming with that stuff in their hair. Jerry curl. What? What are you talking about? Bad scene. Mama swung pretty good. Who swung pretty good? Corn Pop. Who the hell's Corn? What are you talking about? Remember that one? My son Bo died in Iraq. No, he didn't. Whatever. He was fine then. Come on, man. Let's go outside and do some push-ups. I'll kick your ass. Remember that? I said, who is that? Who is that guy? That's the guy who wants to be president. Yeah. Oh, my God. What is the matter with him? That's the Corn Pop guy? Yeah. That's weird. And that's his wife. Who's that? Dr. Joe. That was a babysitter, wasn't it? Did you ever hear that story? Do your research. I don't even want to tell you about that one. But that's a good one. So this guy wants to be president, yeah? And then COVID hit. What was COVID? Well, we don't know. Remember this? We had a good friend, Eric Thaddeus. Bless his heart. And we would hear what was happening in Italy at the time. Rome and Milan, and we thought, oh my God, it's heading this way. What is this thing? I don't know what it is. What is it? I don't know. Remember when it was scary at first? You know, the last time we had something like this, it was a Spanish flu. They were dropping dead in the street. Really? Yeah. Oh my God. You think that's going to be here? I don't know. What is it? I don't know. How do you catch it? I think through the air. I'm not sure. Oh my God. Remember that? It was a while. And then we had Trump, who did what he wanted to. And then Biden, nowhere to be found. Nowhere. Trump was doing rally after rally after rally, setting records, and Joe was handcuffed to a radiator, as we say here in the kitchen, in Wilmington in some root cellar. And this guy was talking around saying, Corn Pop, I told son of a bitch going to hit with it down with the thing, with the razor blade. What? Is he talking about Corn Pop again? Yeah. Seriously, he wants to be president? Yeah. This is the choice? Okay. He got 81 million votes. Who did? Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Joe what? Joe Biden. He got 81 million votes. Who voted for him? 81 million? Nobody saw him. He never campaigned. I know. What do you mean you know? Trump was all over the place. Remember, around back and forth on the plane, back and forth, back. And Trump was walking around. I mean, that Biden. He said, I don't know what happened. It was the wildest time. And then all of a sudden, it started off like this. Remember this one? I think we should have unisex bathrooms. I beg your pardon? I think we should have unisex bathrooms. Remember that? It started off very simple like that. Unisex bathrooms? Yeah, why? Well, so that men can go in the women's. Is this a problem for you? Yeah. Why do you want unisex bathrooms? Why? Well, because some people want to go. Excuse me. Who wants to go to you want to go to a ladies' room? I don't. Who wants to go to a ladies' room? If you're a guy, you want to go in this fast, you got urinals. I don't want to go to. You don't want a urinal? Well, what do you want to do? You want to sit down? Why? I never understood this. So and they talked about it. Remember that? Remember? Then all of a sudden, kids were getting snipped and cut and puberty blocking. It's like, wait a minute, how did we go from this to that? We just did. Then Rachel Levine came on. What the hell is that? That's Rachel Levine. Who's that? She's a man, a woman, whatever. Okay. I never knew there were this many. I had no idea. I said, okay. By the way, there is a woman who is I don't know her name. I'm not even going to give it. But she is on this wonderful YouTube channel I see about concert pianists and music. And she is incredible. Classy, fascinating. And when I saw her, I thought, sure enough, she was a transgender. Does it matter? Nobody cares. Can play her ass off. Great. Nobody cares. I went 60 whatever years. I thought maybe we had a friend who was I didn't see any transgenders. I didn't see any. I knew they were there. Okay. All of a sudden, everywhere. Where? They're everywhere. I don't see them everywhere. Oh, they're here. And these kids, they don't know if they're gender. Who doesn't know? Have you ever known a kid who says, I don't know if I'm a woman or a man or a boy or a... I guess they're out there. Normally it's like they know exactly what they want to do. Now, some might be gay. That's one thing. That's for sure. Have you ever done that before? We've had that. We had somebody say, oh, this is my son. He's gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you say, he's gay. He's gay. But the gay boy or girl never said, but I want to be another sex. Well, that was then. Then one time, and I know you, when I tell you this, you don't believe me. This to me freaked me out. I couldn't believe what I saw. All my life, I knew there were some people who had tattoos. They were just kind of there. There was like your grandfather's, the Marines, maybe a Navy guy, a prison tattoo. And then around, I don't know, the prison hard luck, Then there was LETSF, and then you go like this. They were prison, and you go like that. Anyway, I saw those. Born to Lose, that's my favorite. Saw that one time. Prison tattoos mostly. And then right around, I don't know, 80 something, all of a sudden said, hey, I'm gonna get a little heart on my. Okay, that's nice. I'm gonna get a little heart on my ankle. Nothing big, a little ankle. Okay. Then the tramp stamp. Remember that? Lower back. Remember that one? Remember that? Tramp stamps. All of a sudden, women say, okay. If it makes you feel good, go ahead. And it was, it's okay. There's a few of those. All right. And then all of a sudden, maybe I'm the only one who notices. Maybe I'm the only one who cares about this. I recognize that. I'm the only one who cares about it. I went to bed one night and I woke up and everybody's covered in tattoos. Covered. Head to toe, face, neck, overnight. What? Even people whose tattoos you can't even see. Doesn't matter. Far be it from me. It's a free country. Where in the hell? I've known people, they've got engaged. You said, well, did you notice? What? And their hands are covered with this. Did you notice? No, what? Well, what? Spiders. You're gonna, who knew? I can't see anything. You get stuff all over you. How did that happen? That's when I realized, oh, I see. People went out and scarred themselves because somebody said this is hip, and it flooded. You can't work in a restaurant. You cannot work in a like a sous chef. You can't do this unless you're covered. You can't. You can't be, a chef or whatever. Can't do it. Fascinating. Overnight. overnight. Tattoo parlors are like, okay. One time during COVID, during the Rona, Mrs. Ellen and I are walking, and we thought that our little favorite store, remember when you had to go there, they let you in like 2 at a time. It was just stupid. Anyway, remember when you had directions when you went down the aisle, went to a store, and you had to go, the coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, knew when you were passing each other, that's when it would jump to somebody else. But as long as you were in a store and you were pushing your buggy in one direction, SARS-CoV-2 could not spread because it was only a unidirectional. You probably didn't know that. So we're there. We're looking up here. I'm looking at the this line. I go, oh my God, is this the store? It was a tattoo place during COVID. I said, what the hell's going on here? People are, what are you doing? Isn't it great? No. And then some people, let's face it, your skin, I can't, whatever, good for you. I'm good. Then at 7 p.m., remember that? That was my favorite. I want to tell people about this. Kids, you remember, 7 p.m., they opened the windows, and people were playing the trumpet, banging pods. Yay! Thank you, first responders. Who? The first responders. Where are the first responders? I don't know. You mean the women doing the TikTok videos? No, the people in hospitals, the front line. I used to ask all the people, everybody I knew a lot of doctors, are you busy? Nope. Any first responders? Nope. I remember one time there was a story about they had supposedly refrigerated reefers, like not those kind, but they had trailers with refrigerated units for all the dead bodies that were stacked up. There were no, and we saw it on TV, and we walked up to the hospital that there were no refrigerated trucks. They were just there. They had pictures. Where are they? Well, they must have moved them 5 minutes ago. I remember one time they said the Javits Center's packed. Ambulances pulling in, bringing these people. We went to the Javits Center. Well, down the street. We went around the back. Back's 11th Avenue. West Ave. No, that's not it. West End Highway. That's not it. Went around the front. Where are the... They were on TV saying... Then they said, well, we're going to be burying people in Central Park. What? Why don't you use all these, these refrigerated trucks you're not using? There was nobody dying. Nobody. But they said it. This is like 9/11 again. It's like they kept saying one thing, and I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Shut up. Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. It blew my mind. And this guy got 81 million votes. Then George Floyd. Okay, tragic scene. Now we're going to tear up everything. We're going to trash everything. We're going to break windows all over the country. Why? Because of George Floyd. Now, with all due respect to Mr. Floyd, this is not Rosa Parks. He was not a national hero. I think what that Chauvin did was stupid. But that was his training. I don't want to relitigate that. That's over with. Ben Crump came down. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Don't understand a word he says. And they said, okay, fine. Next thing you know, I see plywood going up. I said, why is there plywood? Well, they know something. And all down 11th Avenue in New York, on the west side, where all these car dealers are, true story, car dealers, BMW, Audi, this, that. They took their cars from the showroom and they put them someplace else. What do they know? They knew. They knew what? Something's going to happen. And all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Why? Because of George Floyd. Why? Because of George Floyd. I know you keep saying George Floyd. What is his death? Why are they destroying businesses? Because they want to steal. Oh, I see. Then BLM came along. There you go. Remember that? To me, it was like it was yesterday. And I said, wow, this was something. In New York City, you know who knows when it's going to rain? Here's a question for you. Nigerians. I think they're Nigerians. I don't know, but they're Africans mostly. And they show up when they put they saw the umbrellas, it's going to rain. Guaranteed. I don't care what WeatherBug says. I don't care what your weather app says. I don't care what Channel 4 News, the Nigerian, whoever these people are, they know exactly. And they set up shop and they go, here we go. And all these people here knew that it was gonna be a riot. And we saw stuff like mad. We saw things like fireworks. All of a sudden, these really super fire. Oh, and then one time, Mrs. Helen and I got into a car. We didn't know if we could. Can we leave? We didn't know. Can we go? We were like sneaking. Can we go? I guess. Do I wear a mask in the car? And we drove. We got from Midtown to Jersey in like 5 minutes through the tunnel. I said, can we do this? Where are we going? We went to what was the place on Bloomfield? Was it not Verona? Where was where all those cops were? Was it Caldwell or something? Anyway, all these cops, all of them, cars parked, every single one. There's no police. It was the weirdest thing. Well, shouldn't they be out now? Nope. Wow. And we get home by 7 o'clock and hear the pots and pans and the screaming and the yelling, thanking our first responders for doing the TikTok videos, I guess. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Everything changed. Reality changed. This isn't politics. This is Twilight Zone. This is what we are seeing right now. I'm telling you. Sarah Huckabee Sanders said it best. It's a cross between. Where was that place where all those cops? Was it Caldwell or where was that? Or yeah, Verona or. Yeah, but the cops. Verona, yeah. All of them. Bloomfield. It's just what? It was the weirdest thing. So we went from that, went to George Floyd, went to riots, went to BLM, and everybody around here put their BLM sign up, meaning don't trash my house in case there's a riot. Don't come this way. No, no, no. Hate not spoken here. Okay. No, no, no. Leave our house alone. I notice there's no black people living. Yes, that's true. But please, we're into Black Lives Matter. We're putting this sign up in the front lawn. But there's no black people here. I know there's no black people here. But it's a gated community. I know there's a gated community. I know. And why don't you just be quiet? Just put this sign up in case you know. That's exactly why people did it. Exactly why people did it. And there are parts of, I know certain cities, but there's parts of New Jersey where you have one block, literally one block, you've got white people and black people. One block. Just like right there, there's that Maginot line. And nothing ever happened because people were rational. But it was the weirdest thing I've ever. I said, why are they upset? Because of George Floyd. Who's George Floyd? He's that guy they stepped on his neck. But he's a saint. The man's a saint. And they killed him, and now everybody's gonna suffer, and retail theft is gonna go through the roof. Biden, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Gonna find corn pop. You back to that again, are you? With the switchblade? Okay. Meanwhile, Trump saying, they stole my election. That's enough. That's enough, please. That's enough. Just insanity. Then we're going to transgender. You're back again to transgender? What do you want? We want kids to be taken out of their parents' homes if they show the slightest indication that they want to change gender. Kids don't even know their favorite color. Doesn't matter. Who are you again? We're That'll never work. Next thing you know, Johns Hopkins, whatever the medical schools are, Boston School. Yes, we have this. And I do penectomies and hysterectomies and orchiectomies. And I will castrate and mutilate. Yes, absolutely. Proud. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We'll do it. You went from bathrooms to this? Who were these kids? Plenty of kids. Are you sure about this? Oh, yeah. And no cash bail. No cash bail. Just let them go. Let them go? Have you seen these people? That's right. Look what they did to San Francisco. Look what they did. Biden, don't you have anything to say about that? Nope. What about you, Pelosi? You're from there. Gavin Newsom? Anybody? Nope. L.A.? Nope. I have nothing to say. Nothing. I'm going to destroy it. We're going to destroy it. Why do you want to destroy it? I don't know. I don't know. So, let me just tell you something. This is so messed up right now. And you can look at the Trump indictment, and that's important. You can look at the whistleblower testimony in Fox News. That's good. But that's like going into an emergency room where somebody has been in a 12-car collision and you want to do a pedicure on somebody. It's a nice thought, but that doesn't mean anything. This world is falling apart. And that's why I got to go for any glimmer of hope. Anything. Because the Republican Party does not exist. They're talking about Hunter Biden. What do they want with Hunter Biden? We're going to get to the bottom of that. Okay, but there are some people who are desperately looking for law and order. Why don't you declare martial law or do something? We're going to impeach Garrett. What? What is happening here? Does anybody have any sense of what? I don't know. So that's why all of a sudden here's Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy is like the only person I want to see like a white light on him. Like, oh my God. And what he's saying isn't even that great. It's just like, oh my God, he's normal. And Tucker Carlson, and there's a lot about Tucker. This is a very complicated dude here. But what he's saying makes sense. And he's actually getting a lot of these jadrules from the Republicans to pay attention. And I'm telling you right now, Bobby Kennedy and Tucker together, forget Bobby and Trump. No. That's Trump would say, I'm the boss, not you. No, I'm the boss. We are under indictment. To hell with you. I don't want anybody. You just, Mike Pence, just go ahead, Mike. I'm the boss. But I'm going to say something right now. Seriously, just think about this. Wouldn't it be great if Bobby Kennedy and Tucker Carlson would blow this thing apart? Because you've got Democrats who would move over from the left and Republicans who move over from the right in the middle, or not really the middle, but someplace else, which is where we are. That's where we are. We're not left. We're not right. Both of them are against this war, this stupid Ukrainian war, which we have no business about. You know all about that. That's about the military-industrial complex. That's neoconservative lunacy. That's come on. I keep getting blasted from the German government because I trash Victoria Nuland. I got your Victoria Nuland right here, my friend. Wouldn't you love to see it? Wouldn't you love to see it? Do you see when they say Tucker, did you hear Tucker interview? Tucker didn't say anything to Pence. That was even worse. It wasn't even remotely, it wasn't a trick question. Tucker said, well, what do you think about people in the back that where's any money to Ukraine? And all Pence would have to say was, that's a great question, Tucker, but we can do both. I absolutely acknowledge the fact that we've got to think first and foremost what happens in this country. But we cannot turn our back on the people. He could have answered the question a million times. I could have answered the question. I don't even believe that. But no, Mike Pence says, I don't care about that. What? That wasn't because of Tucker. That's because Mike Pence is an idiot. Think about what I'm saying. When Tucker comes out and does that Mozart Amadeus laugh, ha ha ha, he does that laugh. Oh my God. It's like a chill down my spine, and not in a good way. But that's okay. You got him, then you got Bobby. Bobby talks like this. Put them together. I don't care. This is interesting. I kind of like Bobby's voice, don't you? Don't you like it? You listen to him. Remember the first time you heard Bobby, that spasmodic dysphonia? It's like, what is this? It's like Harvey Weinstein without the Brooklyn accent. You know what I mean? He talks like that. Or Katharine Hepburn or something. Collins has that too. A little bit of a dysphonic thing. And then there's Biden. I don't know what the hell's going on. Remember Nancy Pelosi? She was acting out of her tree too. And Dianne Feinstein, by the way, is still there. Dianne Feinstein's walking around saying, hi. Fetterman's walking around, hi. Biden's walking around, hi. What the hell's going on here? So, you got Bobby. What Bobby is saying, Bobby the K, it makes a lot of sense, but I want them completely there. Oh, I love this. Bring people from the left, bring people from the right, ta-da, and take these two parties and flush them. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. All right, my friends, that's it. You understand this? Let me see some of your brilliant... Orig Main Street Mama said, I'm driving down the highway laughing, all by myself. Just when I get it under control, you go into colonoscopies. I didn't even look to see who was looking back to see. Thank you. Can I tell you one great colonoscopy story? You want to hear a great one? This is a true story. Remember Walter Cronkite? Remember that?
How could I forget? That was bad.
It was bad. Here's the thing for you. Never, ever, ever, like a week before, ever take, I always take like low milligram, the aspirin, whatever it was. I think it was my first colonoscopy ever. So I went, and I think they found a polyp. We took one off. It's no big deal. I said, okay. Well, how do I explain this to you? And it happened to another friend of mine. I'm not trying to be, how do I say this? Imagine if somebody took red wine, a big E&J gallon, remember the big gallon of red wine, and dumped that into your toilet. That would make you say, whoa, what is this? Okay, I saw that and I said, something's not right. I came out of the loo. Mrs. L looked at me and said, oh my God. I was white. I looked like I had been stabbed. Apparently, when they took that polyp thing off and that aspirin, not good. That's why I always check with your Coumadin. So I walked into this doctor and I was like, ah. And he says, oh my God. People in the audience, in the waiting room said, oh my God. What's this guy? He was going to put me in the hospital. I said, no, please don't. No, please don't. He said, okay, but listen, make sure you go. I was eating meat. I want you to buy liver or meat and take iron. And okay, I'll do that. But I don't want to go to the hospital. Okay, maybe. Just go to take a cab, go home, you'll be fine. All right. So we're on the Upper East Side, going to the West Side. And all of a sudden, all traffic is stopped. I said, what the hell is this? It was a testimonial or a tribute to Walter Cronkite, who had just died, at Lincoln Center. I had to get out of the cab and walk like this. I looked like Lon Chaney meets Rondo Hatton. It was bad. People are offering me quarters. Just go away. One of the fun. So when I see Walter Cronkite, that's what I think. I mean, it looked bad. It was bad. But I obviously pulled out okay, which is fun. When you go to if you ever go to the colonoscopy suite, these people are kind of nervous because you're looking at each other like, I know what you're here for. And the people who work there are like, and did you take the prep? Oh, yes, I took the prep. And did you have a bowel movement? I did not have a prep. Can you keep it down? I'm fine. Are you clear? I'm clear. Just please, Joe, can we keep this down? People don't want to talk about this stuff. I understand. So what's really great is when you're in the back, all of a sudden, if it's a good size, waiting room, do this. Ow! That's it. One time, and their heads will go up like, what the hell was that? What the hell? And when you walk out, if you can, walk out like rubbing yourself, like, God, Jesus, God. Just walk out. They didn't tell me about that. They made it sound like, oh, the prep. Did you see that thing? Jeez, I thought they were supposed to put me out. Oh, and the noise. And just walk out. One time I went to a place on 8th Avenue. I had to get my eyes checked for this license. And there's an optometrist there. So I was there. And I remember when I walked out, all these kids were there. I guess it was beginning of the school year or something. They had to get their eyes checked. Anyway, this guy was packed. So I did the old, where you kind of cross your eye, you give him one of those, I put my chin there. And I said, I'm having to notice a little bit of a couple of headaches, but other than that, he's looking at me like, what the hell's wrong? So he knew I was kidding. So as I was walking out, places packed with parents and kids, I turned to him in a loud voice, not screaming, but loud enough, and I said, an enema? You never told me anything about an enema. They're supposed to get my eyes checked. What was the point of that? No, seriously. No. Tell me, what did that have to do with my eyes? I'm getting out of it. And I walked out. And he said, no. He's kidding. No, he's kidding. You don't know him. He does this. If you think about it, it's kind of funny, though, in a weird way. When you go to a doctor, an eye doctor, come out, little things like that, covering your eyes, it's hysterical. What are you going to do now? All right, my friends. Look at this. Somebody says, CGI Joe says, I'm driving down the road, 2 hands on the wheel. Isn't that radar? I'm driving, I'm right on the wheel. Stay away from the beats before your colonoscopy. Thank you, Fanculo. Thank you. By the way, bologna sandwiches with sourdough. I don't know what that means. It's funny you say that about the... I don't want to go into the beats. I don't want this to be too much. But let me explain something. It's very interesting. Dr. Greger, nutritionfacts.org, does this story about people who claim to be regular. And he said that doesn't necessarily mean something. The question is transit time. So he suggests that people, and I'm telling you this, eat something like red velvet cake or something without a red food coloring. Note the day you consumed it and wait until you see it again. If you see it 2 weeks later, that's not good. Even though you're back, but I'm regular. Yeah, but that should have been, I don't know what's up there. But we're going to leave it at that. Now let me ask you something. Have you had fun tonight or what? I know tonight is supposed to be Trump's indictment, Fox News Channel's collapse. Yeah. But be honest. Who enjoyed the laughter? Who enjoyed just saying, it's going to be okay? We can laugh about some stuff. We can act like children a little bit. And just, some of this stuff is just funny. I think it's very funny. I have a very, very, look at this. In 8 months, beer will be a rare thing. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. All right, my friends, we had fun. Carol Valley had fun. Finn Gazinia, hell yeah. Spike Jones, where are you? Oh, wasn't he great? Liz Solak, Lionel, you're great. Thank you so much. Scar tissue slows things down. That's true. That'd be a great name of a book. Enjoyed you down in hot Texas this evening. Thank you. Thank you for that, Get Texas. Tampa Nights all over again. Awesome show. Thank you so much. Great fun. That's what's important. We got to have some fun. Remember one time, if I could tell you one day, I'll tell you the story about my first bladder surgery. Oh, we could have some fun with that one. Sadie says, thank you, Lionel and Mrs. L. La scimina è morta. Ciao, amici. Thank you so much. Pierino Fanculo. Ba, we also call him va, sorry. Jet fuel, thank you. All right, dear friends. You have a great and glorious day. We'll be back tomorrow night. Look at this. I gave you an hour even. And you know what? You're worth it. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. And until then, my friends, remember this. Oh. And let me remind you. This is Mrs. L's, this is her channel. This is her channel. Follow this right now. Please, I'm asking you. That's it right there. All right, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, 8 a.m. in the morning. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.